Imagine standing before the most powerful king in the world, faced with a choice: bow to a golden idol or be thrown into a blazing furnace. What would you do? This is the story of three young men who stood firm in their faith, defied a king, and experienced a miraculous rescue. This is the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. King Nebuchadnezzar, the mighty ruler of Babylon, had a dream that shook him to his core. His kingdom was powerful, but he wanted to ensure that his reign was eternal. So, he built a towering golden statue, 90 feet tall, and commanded that everyone bow down and worship it when the music played. On King Nebuchadnezzar's command, the king's decree was read aloud by a royal official. The decree was as follows: people of every nation and language. The king commands you, when you hear the sound of the trumpet, flute, and harp, fall to your knees and worship the golden image. Whoever refuses will be thrown into a blazing furnace. But in the midst of the kneeling crowd, three men remained standing: Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These were young Jewish men who had been taken captive from Jerusalem but remained faithful to the one true God. They refused to bow, knowing that God had commanded them to worship him alone. The king's officials noticed three men who refused to bow, and then they rushed to the king. "O king, live forever. There are certain Jews, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who refuse to bow to your statue." A dialogue ensues between King Nebuchadnezzar and the three men standing before his throne. "King Nebuchadnezzar, is it true that you refuse to worship my gods and bow to my image? I will give you one more chance. When the music plays, bow down, or you will be thrown into the fiery furnace. And what God will be able to save you then?" "Shadrach, O king, we do not need to defend ourselves before you. Meshach, the God we serve is able to save us from the blazing furnace. Abednego, but even if he does not, we will never serve your gods or worship your image." Nebuchadnezzar was furious. He ordered the furnace to be heated 7 times hotter, so hot that even the soldiers who threw the men inside were burned alive. Then something incredible happened. Nebuchadnezzar leaped to his feet in astonishment. King Nebuchadnezzar, speaking to himself in astonishment, "Did we not throw 3 men into the fire? But look! I see 4 men walking unharmed in the flames. And the 4th looks like a son of the gods." A voice responds to the king: "God himself has sent an angel to protect his faithful servants." King Nebuchadnezzar calls out the 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, "Come out." The 3 men emerge, completely unharmed. Their clothes are not burned, and they don't even smell of smoke. King Nebuchadnezzar, amazed, declared, "Praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. No other God can save like this." He then decreed that no one in his kingdom should speak against the God of Israel. In the book of Daniel, we find one of the most powerful stories of faith and courage: Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, 3 Hebrew men who refused to bow to King Nebuchadnezzar's golden idol. Their unwavering stand teaches us valuable lessons that are still relevant today. Lesson 1: Stay faithful even under pressure. When Nebuchadnezzar commanded all to worship his golden image, these 3 men stood firm, refusing to compromise their faith. As Christians, we must remain faithful to God even when society pressures us to conform to ungodly standards. Lesson 2: Trust in God's power and sovereignty. They told the king, "Our God is able to deliver us from the fiery furnace. But even if he does not, we will not bow." Their trust in God was not based on outcomes but on his sovereignty. We must trust God, knowing he is in control, even when we face trials. Lesson 3: God is with you in the fire. The king threw them into the furnace, but God was with them. The flames did not harm them, and a 4th man, believed to be a divine presence, appeared in the fire. This reminds us that God never abandons us in our trials. He walks with us through the fire. Lesson 4: Your faith can inspire others. After witnessing the miracle, the king declared that no one should speak against their God. When we stand firm in faith, others take notice. Our courage can inspire those around us to turn to God. Like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, we are called to stand firm, trust God, and be a testimony of His power. Will you trust Him in the fire? If you enjoyed this video, like, share and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thanks for watching and God bless.